Hi y'all, bonjour, hola, my name is Trish. In today's lesson, I'm going to show you how you can take your photo from looking like this grayish tone to something very exciting and rich. So if you're excited like I am, just stay tight. I'll be right back. If you're new on this channel, welcome. My name is Trish. So as you all know, I always like to showcase one of the work that is sent from one of you. So today we are going to look at the work that was sent in by Ollie on Facebook. So this Monday I did a tutorial on a back to school flyer and she sent me her version of it. So I'm going to put it next to each other so you can see mine and hers. And as you can see, she did an amazing job replicating what I did. Congratulations for sending in this amazing work. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. So without further ado, let's jump right into this tutorial. So the first thing we want to do is to add an adjustment levels. To do that, you want to go to your adjustment icon and we are going to right click and then we are going to choose levels. So what we are going to do now, we're going to move our sliders this way and that way. And as you can see, it begins to pull up the richness in the photo. So I'm just going to slide it just a little bit more so we get some dark, we get some contrast, and at the same time, the color richness pops even more. So with this set for us, the next thing we want to do is to blur out the background. The background is already blurred, but we want to take it a step further. So you want to click on your background image and you want to make a duplicate of that. And what we are going to do is that we want to take this image and we are going to go to filter and blur, Gaussian blur. And we want to take our radius down all the way to, let's say, till it becomes a little bit more blurry, something like that. And I'm going to click OK. So right now, I know you're thinking, what is happening? The subject is blurred, the background is blurred. What we are going to do is that we want to cut out the subject and the car and everything on the car and only blur out the background. So to do that very easily, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go back to our background image and we want to cut out our subject and the car and everything on the car. So we're going to go to our quick select tool and we're going to click on select subject. And Photoshop is going to generate an outline for us around the subject. So first of all, I want to turn off the blur image so we can see the actual sharp photo. Now I'm going to take my plus selection tool and you just want to add. So we're just going to click on these areas so we can include them in our selection. So now that we have this, we are going to zoom out so you can see everything. So we're going to go back to our blurred image with that layer selected. We don't necessarily want to put a layer mask on our subject. We want to reveal the background. So you want to go to select and then choose inverse. So now we've selected the inverse of all the areas where our subject is. Now we're going to click on our layer mask. So once you click on your layer mask, your subject now is hidden. Always remember that black hides, white reveals. So when you look at the thumbnail of your layer mask, only the background is shown, and that's why that is in white. And your subject now is all hidden. So that's what we want. And now, if I do the before and after, you see that there is a slight difference between what we had originally and now it's even more blurred. So the next thing we want to do is to add a solid color. We want to add a little bit more richness from where the sun is hidden from the back. So you want to make sure you have your top layer selected, and we are going to click on our adjustment option and then choose solid color. And we want to look for like an orangey color. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to click OK. So from here, you want to change your blending options to soft light. So now that we have done that, it looks too much. It looks too saturated. I know, just stay with me. So what we are going to do is we want to click on our layer max and we want to invert it. So you hold down your control and then press on I on your keyboard, and you see that the color is now hidden. So we are going to pick up our brush tool. You want to make sure that your foreground color is white. White reveals black hides. So now we want to reveal the color in certain areas. So I'm just going to now begin to brush over these areas. And as you can see, we get some richness in these areas. And I'm going to add some rich tones to the ground as well, and a little bit here. So it's not on the subject, but you can see it in the background. This is looking really nice. I love the way it looks. So if you want to see the before and after, you're going to click on your layer and click on the top layer, except your background, and you're going to click on group icon. So it groups all the different changes we have made to our background image. And notice that all the changes we have made, if I turn it off, it doesn't affect the original image. And this is what we call not distractive. Whenever you are editing a photo, you want to work in this manner so that in case you want to go back, you always have your original image. So this is what we started with, and this is what we have. It's so rich, it pops. It looks like she's having so much fun. I love the richness in her skin tone and the car, as well as what is on top of the car. So we want to do just one more thing. I feel that we can sharpen our subject a little bit more. So to do that, we are going to apply what we call a high pass. So I'm going to collapse our group and I'm going to make another duplicate of our subject, but this time I'm going to move it all the way up to the top. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to filter, then we want to choose other and high pass. So in high pass, you can choose whatever radius you want to get the sharpness that you need. But I'm going to keep this, I'm going to keep it at, I'm going to take it down just a little, 1.6, and I'm going to click OK. What I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom into the subject so you can begin to see once we apply the blending options to our high pass, so you can see the difference. So this is the before, and now with the high pass, if I change the blend mode, I'm going to go for the hard light. It gives me a lot more detail. So I'm going to make it full. So now if I do the before, you notice that the image is a little bit blurred to begin with. But now if I add the high pass, you see some richness. Now the next thing that we want to do, I don't want to apply the sharpness on the background. I just wanted to focus on the subject. So what we are going to do is that we want to go back to our blurred image. I'm going to hold down my control and I'm going to select my layer mask. So when I select my layer mask, this time we want to apply our changes to the high pass layer. So what we want to do now is to inverse to the subject and not the background. So we go to select and then we choose inverse. So now our subject is where we have the focus on. So if I add the layer mask to it, now you see that the high pass is now only applied to my subject and the foreground remains as blurred. So if I do this, this is the before, and if I add it, you see that it picks up on some level of detail that we didn't have before. In the hair, you get the highlights pop a little bit more. And so this is what you can do to spruce up any image that you have. So there you go, guys. This is very simple, but an effective way to take your picture from looking dull to having some life in it. So if you don't have Lightroom, this is another way that you can brighten up or touch up your image. So I hope you found this tutorial very helpful. Please like and comment. Don't forget to subscribe and also turn on the notification bell for all future uploads. Until next time, please be safe. Bye for now.